information about Mostly Lost, which is one of my new series that I'll be introducing to this channel. Mostly Lost actually has a preview video, so you can kind of see what it's going to be about by watching that video on my channel. But there's also another series. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing together the two main elements of this channel, which is nature aware, which deals with urban wildlife, and then the other side of it deals with human beings living among animals in any environment. So it's really going to codify those two things together. The reason I'm sitting out here is I've been working on my electric scooter, Serenity, back here, and kitting it out with different cameras so that I can start to have a more professional look to things. It kind of interesting. It's not a product placement. I'm just mentioning this because it's pretty cool. The two main cameras I use, one that I wear on my chest, and then one that will actually face me on my handlebars, are this little sports camera, this little 4K sports camera. And here in Indonesia, it costs about $40 a piece per camera, which is not bad at all. And I've been using one for 6 months now, and I just bought a second one to put on the scooter. And the quality is actually really good for the cost. It's not at the tier of a GoPro or the 360 or anything like that, but it's definitely miles above any of the cheap action cams that are out there, and these little ones. And then they come with so many different accessories that go on them. They're magnetic, so you can actually clip it to a magnetic necklace, which is how I ride with. Or this one right now is in a mount to put on my handlebars here on the scooter. So that's going to be really cool, because what you'll see is not only when I'm driving forward, but you'll also see me when I'm talking, and it gets synced up to the audio through a wireless microphone. It's all pretty cool stuff. So upcoming, the first series I want to talk about is Mostly Lost. Mostly Lost are really, really dear to me because I live in Jakarta. I'm not visiting here. I'm not an expat. I don't like the term expat. Expat is somebody who comes to another country and works for a while, and then they go back to a home country. I'm not that. This is my chosen country. So when people ask me where are you from, my current answer, and will be for the rest of my life, is Indonesia. I'm not Indonesian born. I'm German born, actually. A lot of people get that wrong too. But for all intents and purposes, because of my family here who are Indonesian, my wife is Indonesian, my children are Indonesian, my parents-in-law, the extended family is Indonesian, and I live deeply in an Indonesian community, not an expat area, not an upscale high-rise or anything. We're sitting here in my garage right now in our house, which is kind of a traditional Indonesian villa-style house, and I've lived here for more than 4 years. And the truth is, there's a lot of people that do stories where they go into a country that's foreign to them and they talk about how exotic things are. That's not what I'm going to do. My goal is to connect people, myself to people, and then my viewers to people. And we're going to go on little adventures to connect people to wildlife, which there's a ton of urban wildlife in Jakarta. So you're talking about big animals, small animals. You're talking about bats. You're talking about, in certain parts of Jakarta, wild monkeys. You're talking about giant water monitor lizards that can be more than 5 feet long. Otters in a certain part of Jakarta. I mean, just like all over the place, there's urban wildlife that's learned how to adapt and somewhat coexist with people. And when I'm talking about people, Jakarta is the largest city in the world. The largest city in the world. It's 42 million people here. That's a lot of people. That is a lot of resources, a lot of infrastructure, a lot of buildings, a lot of daily interactions between people among themselves, but then also between people and animals. I will also be diving deep into stray cats, which I have a keen interest in, because stray cats are not like your household pets, and they're not quite feral cats. They're cats that have really adapted to a niche in the urban ecosystem to where they survive with some help from people but mostly without. And so we're going to look at stray cats more. We're going to look even at the rats. The sewer rats are very interesting. They're very big and they're everywhere. And we're going to look into that. Household gecko. I mean, these are not showstopper animals. These are animals people don't think about so much. So I really want to get into that more and more. And to do this, and to do it ethically, I'm going to take a drive around on my e-scooter. Now, the e-scooter I have is Celis brand Minnow, and it gets about a range of about 30 kilometers. It can sometimes push it about 35 kilometer range. It can get it as fast, maximum speed as about 40 kilometer per hour. Typically and legally, I should only be driving 25 kilometer per hour, which in Jakarta is pretty easy to do since the traffic is crazy here. The other thing is it has a max load capacity of 150 kilogram, and I'm a very portly 105 kilogram. So, it allows me to utilize this environmentally friendly vehicle. And in many ways, it's going to become more environmentally friendly. One thing you'll see as the series progresses over the next couple of years is I'm actually going to run the entire e-scooter operation off of solar power. So I'm going to install solar in my house to a battery sump, and then I'm going to charge directly from the collected energy to the e-scooter. I'm not currently doing that, but it's a long-term plan. So that's the basis of Mostly Lost. And the title comes from the fact that I don't plan my trips out. I plan what I'm kind of looking for, and I think I know where to go to get it. And if let's say the big one upcoming is I'm looking for otters along the canals, then I need to go to the canal, right? I mean, it kind of stands to reason. So what you're going to see is me going on the adventure to find these animals, and whether or not I find them or what I find is unknown. I have no clue. We'll be sharing that together. But I'll be using a lot more interactions with people to find out what they know. So the fishermen are going to tell me what they see. Do they see otters? Do they see water monitor lizards? Do they see birds coming out of holes in the sides of the canal? I mean, these are things I've already kind of heard, but I've not seen myself. So I'm going to go there and see it and film it and hopefully bring it back to you. And as I do that, I'm also going to be exploring the neighborhoods. I'm going to be exploring the really tight alleyways and tiny places. We'll stop for coffee sometimes. We'll get a little snack. I'll take you to street vendors. And again, this is not to exhibit Jakarta as being exotic. It's to exhibit Jakarta as a living city of 42 million people, the largest city on the planet. This is my intent, is to connect and bridge cultures and people while I'm learning still. Just real quick, as an end cap to Mostly Lost, one of the future projects that I will be doing is driving out to areas I've never been to. And that's where the name comes from, because I'm likely to get lost and turn around. And I will show you that. I will show you the mistakes as I go along. You can check out the preview video. It's already on the channel. The season will start in January, mid-January, with episode 1. I'm aiming to do 2 episodes a month. And that brings me to the next one. So the second series, so I'll be starting up in January, is something I've already been working on for 4 years. I've been tracking and doing an observational study of the wild monkeys that live in North Jakarta, in the middle of the urbanized area there. And True Bravo is what I named them. And I actually went to the 9th annual Asian Primate Symposium, and I presented the data that I've collected over the years from this. And it really struck home that this coexistence of this small troop of 26 long-tailed macaques in urban Jakarta is becoming an incredibly important thing. I'm gonna, oops, sorry, lost it for a second there. I'm trying to make sure that the connection stays good. But the long-tailed macaques, True Bravo, they are, and I'm gonna say hello to everybody saying hi. They are definitely surviving and thriving, but that can be a delicate balance, and it has been. There was a point to which they were being rounded up in cages to be taken away, to be brought into a rural area. My name is Rick, just like the channel. And the truth is, Troop Bravo's story is hard to tell if I go once in a while. So I want to kind of put that together in a more professional way and create a series from start to finish where I introduce you to Troop Bravo and I tell you more about them. I have a question. Somebody asked me where I'm from. I was born and raised in Germany. I spent many years so living in the United States. That's why I have the American accent. But my home is Indonesia. I've been here for more than 4 years. My family is Indonesian. My wife is Indonesian. Children Indonesian. Do I speak Bahasa Indonesia? A little bit. I am a disabled person. I have a severe hearing disability, almost deaf, and it limits how much I can actually absorb when learning languages. So that second series will also start in January, and I will talk about Troop Bravo, and I will start at a beginning level. I will start with what is a long-tailed macaque. We'll take a look at that, but it's going to be more in depth on watching and the observational process of watching the long-tailed macaques. And each episode will follow the same basic, not story, but the same basic flow. You're going to be introduced to what's going on. I'm going to show you what's happening. I'm going to narrate it through the video, which is something I don't normally do because I hate to be on camera, actually. And at the end of it, I'm going to tell you what we're looking for next time. So it'll be an ongoing series. Oh, from the Philippines? Very cool. I'm going to kind of end up here. I want everybody to take a look at that preview video I did for Mostly Lost. The camera that you see in that video is the old action camera that I had. The quality of this new one that I'm installing today on Serenity is much, much better. So for the upcoming series, the video quality is going to be a lot better than what I did for the preview. But it'll give you a good idea of kind of the flow and the feel for it. And I'm just glad you all joined me today. And I'm going to keep working on my bike. And everybody take care. Thanks for joining me.